Ronde and Tiki Barber have always been together, side by side. The identical twins have lived almost identical lives. Both grew up with their single mother, where they learned to help take care of each other and form an unbreakable bond, connected by a competitive spirit. Both brothers attended the same university, where they were both stars on the Virginia Cavaliers football team, and as the NFL draft approached, they realized their lives would be changed forever. Not only because they would soon become NFL sensations, but because this was the first time in their lives they were going to be going their separate ways. However, one thing would always remain the same: their competitive, brotherly spirit and their transcendence on the football field. This is a look back on the NFL careers of Ronde and Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber entered the NFL as a second-round selection in the 1997 NFL Draft after a very good collegiate career. However, he wouldn't get a full-time starting role with the New York Giants until year 4 of his 10-year professional career. Keep that in mind when I mention his career numbers later on in this video, that he wasn't a full-time starter for 40% of his time in the NFL. With that being said, while his rushing numbers were disappointing his first 3 seasons, his role as a receiving back began to grow, and in the 2000 season at age 25, Tiki Barber was finally able to put it all together. That year, he rushed for his first 1,000-yard season and added 719 yards receiving through the air. This explosive breakout was rewarded with a 6-year contract with the Giants, and in his first year with his new contract, the team would reach Super Bowl 35. Unfortunately, the team would lose to the Baltimore Ravens, and Tiki's numbers that year, as a whole, suffered as he was plagued with injury. But he would make up for that statistical down year with an absolutely dominant 5-year stretch to end his career. He wouldn't dip below 1,200 rushing yards and 450 receiving yards in any of his remaining seasons. In 2004, he earned his first Pro Bowl appearance for a season that saw him rush for 1,518 yards and 13 touchdowns and broke 2,000 yards from scrimmage. But his very best statistical season of his career came at age 30 in 2005, his penultimate season. That year, he rushed for 1,860 yards, the second most all-time in a single season at the time. And on top of that, he added 530 receiving yards for a league-leading grand total of 2,390 yards from scrimmage. For his efforts, he was awarded his second of 3 Pro Bowl appearances and the only first-team All-Pro honor of his career. To close out his career, Barber would put together his 3rd straight season with over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, and rushed for the second most yards of his career at 1,662, and earning a 3rd straight Pro Bowl appearance. Tiki Barber was aging like a fine wine, and only getting better with age. In fact, Barber holds the record for the most 200-yard rushing games by a player over 30 years old, with 4. To put that in perspective, the next 3 closest players only have 1 such game, which is why it came as such a shock to NFL fans when he announced his retirement from the league following the 2006 season, citing the wear and tear on his body as the main reason, but of course his interest in becoming a broadcaster certainly played a role. So when his 10 years was all said and done, Tiki Barber finished with 10,449 rushing yards, 55 rushing touchdowns, 5,183 receiving yards, and 12 receiving touchdowns. And here's where things get crazy. Tiki Barber is the all-time leading rusher of the New York Giants, over 3,000 yards above the next closest player. Additionally, Barber was the 3rd all-time leading receiver of the New York Giants at the time of his retirement, and currently still sits at 4th place on the list, proving just how much of an all-around superstar and offensive weapon he was for the Giants. Meanwhile, his brother was proving to be an all-around weapon himself on the defensive side of the football. Ronde Barber was taken 1 round after his brother in the 1997 NFL Draft, being the 3rd round selection of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, unlike his brother, Ronde would become a starter in just his 2nd season, following a rookie season in which he only played in 1 game. He hit the ground running and generated 4 turnovers and 3 sacks in the 9 games he started in 1998. He parlayed that promising flash into a full-time starting position going forward from his 3rd season onward. He would record at least 2 interceptions and 1 sack in all but one of his 15 years as a starter. Like his brother, following the 2000 season, Ronde was rewarded with a new 6-year contract, and he immediately rewarded the Buccaneers with his best statistical season that next year in 2001, where he recorded an absurd 10 interceptions, 17 pass deflected, 1 forced fumble, 1 sack, and 1 touchdown. He earned the first Pro Bowl and first team All-Pro honor of his career. From there on out, he continued to be a consistent playmaker on the back end of the Buccaneers defense, earning 2 more first-team All-Pro nods and 4 more Pro Bowl appearances, although the achievement he is most proud of was earned in the 2002 season. The Bucs had reached the NFC Championship game, and were looking to hold on to their lead against a driving Eagles offense, led by Donovan McNabb. Ronde Barber would make the play to seal the game, as he intercepted a McNabb pass and returned it 92 yards for a touchdown, and sent the Buccaneers to Super Bowl 37, where they would go on to beat the Oakland Raiders 48-21. That would be the only Super Bowl appearance and victory of Barber's 16-year NFL career. A career in which Barber finished with 47 interceptions, 28 sacks, 15 forced fumbles, and 12 touchdowns. Just like his brother, these numbers show the versatility and deadliness on all areas of the field, and the trouble Barber posed to opposing offenses. Barber became the first cornerback in NFL history with 20 interceptions and 20 sacks in their career. And to showcase his defensive impact and legacy that he left behind, let's take a look at where he ranks amongst the all-time Buccaneers greats. Ronde Barber is the all-time interceptions leader in Buccaneers history, 16 above the next closest. He is the all-time leader in defensive touchdowns for the Buccaneers. He's the 2nd all-time in tackles for Tampa Bay, and top 5 in Bucs history in terms of forced fumbles. Lastly, he sits as the 10th all-time sack leader in Bucs history, which is crazy given the fact that he played cornerback. To put that into perspective, the next closest corner on the Buccaneers' all-time sack list comes all the way at 92. 82 players beneath where Ronde places on the list. All in all, these stats are a testament to the consistent production throughout his long career, one in which he struck fear into the hearts of opposing offenses. Ronde Barber finally hung them up and announced his retirement from the NFL following the 2012 season at age 37, a season in which he recorded 4 interceptions including 1 pick six. Just like his brother, Ronde Barber retired still playing at a very high level in the NFL. And that concludes the story of Ronde and Tiki Barber. A competitive spirit from birth bonded both brothers on a path to greatness. Versatile and deadly weapons on the field, each one excelled at an all-pro level. Ronde Barber as one of the most electrifying all-around defensive playmakers in Buccaneers history. And Tiki Barber as the ultimate offensive weapon and arguably greatest offensive player in New York Giants history. Identical in their appearance and their impact on the field, they were the Barber twins. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this look at the football lives of Ronde and Tiki Barber. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any other video suggestions. It would also really help me if you gave this video a like and if you subscribed so that you could stay notified of future uploads and join our growing community. Thank you again, and I'll see you all in the next one.